There's been a massive technological shift in the last 2 weeks for all of humanity, and that is OpenClaw. It's the development of all these different AI bots and tools to really just revolutionize anyone's life in whatever capacity. And for me, to be able to do that seems a very daunting task. And what I was really interested in, and I still am, is the development of a personal dashboard. The ability to take this OpenClaw like AI program and have it design a dashboard completely centered around me, around what my goals are, around what my needs are, around all this kind of stuff, the information, my daily use. I was so fascinated. And for whatever reason, no other YouTubers are giving like a tour of their dashboard. I only see it in passing. I maybe take some screenshots and get some ideas and examples. But in this video today, I'm gonna give you a tour of my dashboard. And this is only version 1. I've only been using OpenClaw for about a week and a half. I'm not a coder. I don't know anything about, I'm not a software engineer like these guys. I don't have any background. I'm just like a lizard brain cowboy. Like I don't understand it. So I need extra help. So I'm just giving you what I do. Maybe it's something that could spur your own creativity on. If you're new to this channel, my name is Aaron. I'm just exploring the wild west of crypto and AI and all this kind of stuff. And I'm glad you're here along with me in this journey. Okay, so this is my Claude control point. CCP, okay? It's just if it's custom, I can do whatever I want with it, okay? So as you can tell, this is the overview section. I don't have anything there because I wanted to make this specifically for this video. The first thing I think you should do if you are in this new world of AI is if you're introducing, you got your little computer and you're introducing OpenClaw into it. My problem was bringing up this whole dashboard. I had no idea what things were bugging out all the time. I was trying to give it prompts, and then I was going from the prompting of in the terminal, which I've never used before, and it's super scary. I feel like I'm Neo in the Matrix, but I'm in the terminal and I'm going out of the terminal into like another computer using like I don't know, Grok or ChatGPT or Claude, and I'm going back into the terminal, copy and pasting whatever bash means, screenshotting, and sometimes I have to go through different ways like Google Chat to just copy it properly. It was a mess. So here's the first, number one, most important thing you have to do, in my opinion, when you start this thing is install Claude Code. You gotta install Claude Code along with OpenClaw. It is so important. Here's why it's so important, is because when you are doing the manual thing, I'm trying to use AI to talk to AI and I'm copying and pasting and it's asking me to switch out the little things, and one AI tells me to do one thing, another AI tells me to do another. And then I watched this video, I forget by who, but he mentioned that he uses Claude Code and he's fixing all these things in his terminal or whatever. And I was like, hold up. What if Claude Code can then fix OpenClaw? What if that could happen? What if Claude Code could just be in the terminal and just AI fixes itself? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. I installed Claude Code into the terminal, and then it gave me 3 prompts. I just like, hey, OpenClaw is broken. It keeps giving me these errors about refreshing or I don't know, cooldown or whatever. It was layered problems on top of layered problems. Before we even get to the dashboard, you guys should know this dashboard was not possible unless I installed Claude Code, okay? This is not possible. I would have taken more weeks and just more frustrated. I almost quit. But it's because I installed Claude Code, is because that's why it got up and running. So before I even show you the dashboard, you got to know, install Claude Code in your thing, and it's going to give you 3 prompts when you tell it to fix your OpenClaw. It's going to say yes, and fix everything in the file, or no. And I was like, number 2 all the way, all the time, because it had to fix it. I couldn't do it. I know I couldn't do it. Anyway, let's get into the dashboard. Okay, back to the CCP. And the reason why I told you about the Claude Code is because I've got my Claude Code terminal open up, and I'm going to tell it to like, hey, design for me the overview look based on my usage. And so it's going to do that, and I don't have to do anything. When I did this with Telegram, since it's the first thing that everyone kind of sets up when they install their OpenClaw, it messes everything up. The prompting is all crazy. Claude Code, geez Louise, is one of the best, if not the best, coding AI out there, and so it's gonna do that for me. Anyway, you can see on my left-hand side here, this is what's important to me right now. I created an overview, which I'm going to see what it does, and we're going to adjust that as we do this live. And then the morning brief. I've found that the morning brief actually is not that useful. I know Alex Finn was talking about, got to have the morning brief. It's super important. It's like one of the first things that he said to install. But I was like, I don't need to know the weather, bud. I don't need to know like the top news stories. That's not what I want in the morning. I want to wake up slow. I want to wake up with no noise in my head. I want to wake up like nice and, Jack Johnson, nice and slow, right? Banana pancakes. And so I don't really like the morning brief. I know it's like a tab here. I'm thinking about removing it. So, I could go into the morning brief and it gives you, okay, here's the date, the weather and people alerts, agent status. This isn't helpful to me, right? My crypto stuff, that's not helpful to me. One thing that is very helpful in the dashboard is the token section. Now, this token management dashboard is what tells me what I'm spending. And I'm going to tell you how much I'm spending, or how much I've spent and I'm spending through the whole tracking of this. And so I set a budget for myself at $350, and I've only used $5 right here. I've only used $5, which is great. And it's a healthy, and then it's projected to use $10 a month. And I use 3 different providers, and you can see the split here. Anthropic, which is the Claude code, and I've used $5 there. I've had to buy my own API keys and load it up and all that stuff. You're gonna have to figure out how to do that yourself. It's pretty easy. This doesn't cover the scope of this video. Moonshot, which is Kimmy K. I use that for a lot of different research. That's a little bit faster, a cheaper model. So I use that for like general kind of task management. Because I'm designing and vibe coding a lot, I'm using Anthropic more, but I think that's going to skew down a little later unless I start developing apps. And then I use XAI a lot for the research. Research for problems that I want to solve on X, on Reddit, research for staying on top of like market sentiment in crypto, research for what's going on in the world, especially because it's attached to X, and X is like the water cooler of the world, so like that's where we'd go to find the news. So I wanted to use Grok for that. I thought that was really helpful. Here's cost by agent. Now this system task, that was actually a cron job. That was this is an important lesson for me to learn. And the lesson was I wanted regular updates, and I thought a regular update would be like every 5 minutes this would update, so it would spawn a cron job, and a cron job is just a scheduled task, and it would do that, but it turned out costing me a lot of money. So I was like, oh, I didn't realize it cost me this much. So now I've reduced that, and you'll see how that is, how much I've reduced that in the schedule part. And these are the different sessions. I'm not sure if this is kind of keeping track of it properly, so I don't know. And then I put like down here actionable insights, like suggestions, usage analysis. Anthropic accounts for 96% of spending. Consider it if the task can be moved to XAI for cost savings. So like just different tasks to educate me. I want to be educated because I'm not, this is not my world, right? I'm just kind of diving into this, so I need as much help as possible. So that's my token analysis tab. The next tab is the agents tab. And this one's interesting because it starts off with the org chart, and you could see me as the owner, and maybe I should put some job descriptions there, but I know who I am. Claude is my manager. I was, I'm not really good at naming things, so I just named him Claude after Claude. So these are my 6 agents that I'm using. I don't find having more agents more beneficial. I thought I would have a research agent, a code agent, system, communication, my crypto, Belfort, and this one I started naming my agents more, clever names, and Spielberg, my YouTube script writer, which I'm not using for this, as you can tell. This is all off the cuff. But I don't find myself using all these agents all that often. I think when I need to use an agent, I think down the line, I'm gonna have to give it some kind of system or process or like workflow for it to just kind of stick to. Right now, I don't have that because I'm just trying to get to baseline, and baseline is the dashboard. So I have an org chart, and it shows me where I'm at. I think I'm going to pare down these agents. I have a skills area in the dashboard, and the skills is just workflows basically for these guys. Not sure if I'm using it quite all correctly. If I only have like about 12, I know some people have like 70 skills in their their OpenClaw ecosystem. I know that's not me, but maybe I'll get there one day. And then here are the documents, and these are where the documents live for each one of the more important agents. Here's Claude, my main one: the memory, heartbeat, user, tools, agents, identity, and soul. If you want to know what any of these means, just type it into Claude or type it into Grok and just kind of, it'll tell you better. Memory is basically, what the agent remembers, I guess. I don't know. Soul is what it is. I don't know. I just really copied this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just a copy and paste game. And then here are the 4 different ones that I'm actually using. So I use the crypto one, I use Spielberg, I use Belfort as the crypto trading one. So these are the ones that I find myself using more. The other ones I don't really find too often. Let's move into people. For myself, I thought it was very helpful and useful to me to have a personal directory of people I meet. And I meet people all the time. I'm a pastor, and sometimes a lot of time I forget who they are. I forget their name, I forget their face, I forget what we talked about. I just meet people all the time. So I need a way to help with that chronic problem that I have. Remembering names, details, promises that I made, future plans. I'm not sure about future plans because that's more of like his calendar thing. But anyway, I made this. I'm not sure if this is the best way to organize it quite yet. So this is why this is just version 1 of the dashboard. But here we are anyway. So you got church, friends, and see, this is the thing. I asked it to remember this guy, Jake, and he loves boxing, but it tagged it as boxing here. And I'm not sure if that's the best way to do that by interest, because I don't know how many people I'm going to meet that are really into boxing like this guy was. So maybe some of the tags need to be different and changed. Maybe I need to prompt it like, hey, what's the best way to tag certain people? So I don't know. Like, this is something that I need to work on that's going to be updated in a future development. However, let's keep it going here. Let's talk about the schedule. Now, the schedule, this is really important to me. This is one of the more key features of the dashboard. And this is the cron jobs that are scheduled every day. Now, if you don't know a cron job, I just looked this up. A cron job, and I learned this whole process, right? Is just regular scheduled tasks at a certain time, every day or whatever. So you could see here, I don't even know what this OpenClaw gateway is. This is like always keep on. I don't even know what that is, quite honestly. You're not here because I'm some technical expert. You're here because you want to feel good about yourself, doing better about someone else, doing better than someone else at OpenClaw. And I'm here to serve that purpose, right? You are going to be doing better than me because I know zero. Anyway, a dashboard sync is what I wanted, and just to update all data, like make sure all the data is nice and synced everywhere. I thought every 4 hours was good for that. That's what I had as every 5 minutes, and it ran my bill up all the way. So you don't want to do that. Okay, don't beat me. I just wasted a lot of money doing that. The token tracker, this is just making sure like, hey, I want to update this token's area every 12 hours. And so that's what that is. So like, I don't need to check it all the time. I do want to check it, every once in a while, like maybe at morning or at night or something. So it only needs to update every 12 hours and just to make sure, hey, you're on pace with spending. The daily journal, this one's interesting. I'll come back to it later, but this one updates every 3 a.m. every day. And basically, I'll just go to it right now. It is a daily journal of what I have accomplished with Claude or OpenClaw on my dashboard. And it takes this and it just every day, I'm going to be doing something with it. And it takes the lessons and what we learned today, the problems and solutions, the struggles that I've had, key accomplishments, and what we did earlier this week, just because it's the first one. And it just writes a journal for it in here. And I do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I want to document my journey into this. And so I want to be able to share with you all the real things that I'm discovering right now. And I want Spielberg to go into my journal and pull that kind of stuff out of there and maybe ask me stuff and, figure out a good way to tell the narrative of this. And so I have a journal. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it in the future, but I know that it's important to just keep a journal here. I do this kind of journaling for my car maintenance log, my house maintenance log, family health history, like, hey, he got molluscum today or whatever. So like I put it in there and we tried these things and the first two didn't work. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. Like I got a problem. We tried 1, 2, and 3 and triaged it. And then the fourth one worked. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to see there. I have it creating the narrative. I have every 3 a.m. It just kind of takes account of what we did during the day and then kind of puts it into a nice narrative format. And that is 3 a.m. And the reason why at 3 a.m. is because I'm probably working until 3. I don't tend to work past 3 a.m. At least I try not to, otherwise, because your boy will be tired for the day, at work. And then, so I don't know what this is, quite honestly. Caddy web server. I don't know what that is. Looks important. Maybe I got to ask Claude what that is, because I don't know. Anyway, that is the daily journal. The last one is the second brain. Here's my problem with second brain. I've heard that I need to have a second brain, and I think it's true. Your boy doesn't remember too well. I forget all kinds of things. And so they told me to remember in the para method, like projects, areas, I don't know, whatever it says, resources, and archive. I don't think it's a helpful way for me to categorize my thoughts, because sometimes I'm just thinking and like have an idea or have a thought and I want to remember it or expand on it in a video or expand on it in a sermon or bring it up as a discussion topic with my friends. And so I put it in like a one big long thoughts like file. I don't know what to call it, but I don't know how yet to figure this out. So this is my best attempt right now. So it's second brain. It's got to have a search bar, and this search bar is just for the second brain. So it'll go into YouTube, and these are the different tags: YouTube, projects, crypto, and that's stuff like different tokens that I hear about, different market sentiments, just things that I hear about. People that I meet, but I don't know if I like the people here. Maybe I'll just keep it to the people there, and then different notes. So Aaron's thoughts is, right there. Anyway, all of that's there. One thing that's super important that you need to include into your dashboard, I'm glad I've waited this long to put this in here, is this search bar. This search bar here searches your whole Claude dashboard for anything you want. So if I put something like, I don't know, Cron, I don't know, it'll pull up the journals, it'll pull up the agents, the cool stuff. I don't know what that is. Someone a soulmate, I don't know. Or like soul, and it'll pull up the different soul, things, the files there. Let's go back to, I don't think it's done. So yeah, let's do auto accepts edits. Yes. I didn't. So the thing with Claude Code is that it'll ask you, hey, should I do all these edits? And then you just have to say yes, do all the edits. So I thought I would be doing all these edits, but I forgot to say yes. Anyway, I think I'm going to remove the market brief. I don't really like that. I like the tokens, the agents. These are all things that you need to have. You need to have the tokens. You need to have the agents. You need to have the schedule, and you need to have the journal. The second brain, once I figure that out, I'll let you know. And then, you don't really need the morning brief. I mean, everyone gives you a morning brief. I don't know. Some of my goals that I'm looking at in the future, though, is I want to be able to go to my agents and have a conversation with them. What I want to do is I want to train, let's say, an agent. Here's my idea: to train an agent named Augustine and have him be like a theological, know all the religions in the world, know about apologetics, know how to counter each one. And I want to be able to chat with it. I want to be able to download all the wisdom of the world in a specific narrow category and chat with that thing. Part of my reason is like in the course of conversation, it levels my brain up. That's how I like to learn. I like the podcast. I like to be able to talk and ask it questions and it answer me back. Eventually I want it to be able to be like voice to text instead of just texting. I don't want, these fingers, they're so useless. I don't need these anymore. I got my voice. And so that's what I want to move into. I got to do the second brain, and then I got to do this overview, which is, doing it right now. Anyway, I hope that was all helpful. I hope this helped spur on imagination for yourself in creating your own dashboard. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to stay in tune and subscribe for any of the future ones, and I'll see you guys in the next video.